We've got Nuff, we've got the quiz. We're going to find out when Fat's returning. We're not sure. We're going to get to the bottom of a couple of the big issues in our game, including the media rising star. I've got an inside track. But before we get to all of that, hello to you, Purple.
Hello to you too, Jim. And I want to get to you too very shortly because I always love it when you come back to Melbourne from an interstate trip the previous night. And I've got a little bit of a discourse between you and someone in the Swans rooms last night, which I think the two other people on this show today will appreciate.
I think you need to go there. Hello to you, Bernard. Nice to have you in person.
I know. It's been a couple of weeks since I've been actually here in Melbourne, so enjoying this. Sun's out for me. Perfect. I thought there might have been a bit of rain around, but he doesn't like not being noticed, does he, Jim?
No, he doesn't.
Has someone bypassed him or
it's
something?
along those lines. I'll get to
I like this.
It's actually the complete opposite. And what we're going to do is a confessional. But before we do that, Izzie's back. Welcome.
Yes, thanks for having me. I'm a bit disgruntled.
Why?
Today, the wife went out for dinner last night, so I had the fire roaring, nice red wine, and was about to tune into the golf at 9 p.m. And instead I had to listen to your dribble for another 40, 50
and it
minutes.
was dribble. That game had fallen away badly by then. What about that?
Scotty Scheffler.
The world's most boring man.
The best golfer.
Ends up in the lineup. Ends up with a mugshot. And all he's trying to do is pull into a golf course. I saw it and I thought, is he carrying a firearm?
Yeah.
He's been charged with fray and assaulting a cop, hasn't he? And then he shoots a 66, Jim.
Has he got a cluster of 8 balls tucked in his golf bag? I'm thinking, like, what the hell can this man have done to be locked up and all he was trying to do was
Jim,
turn into the golf course?
We're only saying a couple of weeks ago he needs to go out and just stuff up.
Yeah, exactly.
Muck up. And as soon as I saw the headline, I thought, yes, he's finally done it. I love him now. And then I just heard he was trying to get into a golf course. So that wasn't quite as...
Well, this is a much-told story, but it's worth telling because the great Ian Botham ended up in the lockup in Perth after the flight from Queensland to Perth for the Shield final.
He did too.
Yeah. And so somehow...
I think Robert Craddock broke that story.
They probably would have. Somehow he was the one that, of all the stuff that happened on the plane, Beefy was the one that ended up locked up. And this is like 1987. So a resident of Western Australia had to come and get you out of the lockup. You couldn't be bailed out by anyone.
That was the law.
But someone who lived in... So anyway, Beefy's going, well, who am I going to ring? So he rings Dennis Lilly, because he's a resident of WA. So Dennis Lilly turns up to the East Perth lockup with a 6-pack and a bottle of Bundy. And they're sitting in the lockup while all the paperwork's getting done. And this is Beefy telling the story. As they're sitting there, there's a Darrow in the corner. And Beefy said, I don't know how long he was there for. He's just sitting there, and he obviously was had a big night. Let's put it that way.
Sobering up.
So DK and Beefy are just shooting the shit while they're waiting for the bloke to come and say, you're done.
Two of the greatest cricketers of all time.
That's it. Anyway, so the cop comes in, and it wasn't for Ian. He was coming in for the other bloke to say, righto, mate, your time's up, you can go. And the bloke turned around and goes, that's Ian Botham and Dennis Lilly. I'm not going anywhere.
I'm staying.
I'm staying right here.
So you should.
So I'm not sure Scotty Scheffler would have had the same gravitas.
No, clearly not.
Where are they? Louisville.
Valhalla. I don't know.
Is it Louisville, Missouri?
Said he didn't Kentucky. Said he didn't drop his name.
Didn't he?
No, if I am well
you know who I am?
that's the first thing I'm dropping is my name.
Well, that's a nice segue into what we're about to do. Because I know Purple is very keen to get this out, and it was humorous. But we're going to do a selfie confessional. Because when you're famous, it's something you mightn't be aware of, Purple. People come up a lot and say, can I have a photo? But it's not always a good result.
No.
Like sometimes they say stuff that's... So what I used to get a lot is my missus reckons you're great. I reckon you're a dickhead. But can I have a photo? So that used to happen all the time.
Oh, yeah.
But now I'm sitting in the Sydney rooms waiting to do our stuff while Bristol's doing the roaming.
And this came from a person in your company last night.
So there's next to me is Hodgie and then Richard.
Yeah.
So I assume it's one of those two that told you.
Yeah.
So these two lovely ladies come up and they said, can we have a photo? I said, well, of course you can. They said, I'll just get my husband. He wasn't sort of right next to them. He was off a bit. So while one of them is sort of waving to him, the other one turns to me and says, well, you look a bit different than I thought.
Positive or negative?
Well, that's what I said. I said, well, hopefully better. She goes, yeah, because I never think you're much on television.
Just took the out of your
Okay. Get your husband over here. So we're going around the room.
Yeah, jeez.
Purple.
Yeah, well, I did a function, as you reminded our listeners a couple of weeks ago, Jim, where I did put the crowd to sleep. But one of the people in that room, a great benefactor benefactor of the club in question,
Yep.
came over to me before the show started and said in front of an official from the footy club that, this is a direct quote, "I used to think you were, quote, just dreadful."
What do you mean used to?
No, I think it has only just slightly improved.
Yeah, that's a damning word.
And I just started talking at that stage either, Jim.
No, I just thought you were dreadful.
Just dreadful.
You don't need any follow-up questions after dreadful. You just know your shit.
All right.
There's nothing worse either than someone asking for a photo and go, it's just with my husband, and then he's 150 metres away, then the phone doesn't open, and then they got to put the code in. I've agreed, but I thought you were bloody ready. Going back a little bit, Jim, it's the footy show.
Yes.
I was going in, and the crowd used to walk in a big line, and they're yelling out for a photo, and I didn't turn around because I'd hear the name. I'll get to the name in a sec, but they're walking along, like, yelling his name out. I'm just walking, and then I turned, I could see they're looking at me. They're going, "Oi, Croft!" I'm like, Croft's about 150 centimetres. By that stage, he put on about 10. He's about 12 years older than me.
And you are a tall man.
I'm a bit taller than what people think, I think, off TV. But then I was a bit flattened with that, and it stuck with me. I need to get that off my chest. So thank you for bringing that up.
It's confessional. Is
I reckon Bernie would have had this. Like, this isn't. I've got two little ones, but Bernie would. He's a good-looking operator. Yes, very attractive man.
not as good as he
Thanks,
was.
Sis.
When
I dropped off.
Trained off a bit.
Now I'm getting it from Jim.
you get a mum or two come up and they're like, "Oh, my kids love you. They absolutely love you," and then they get the phone out and the selfie, and then they snuggle right in. So that happens a little bit, not as much to me as what it would to Bernie.
Bit of a butt grab.
The one that used to upset me was, I'm obviously quite skinny, and they'd come up and go, "You're not as skinny as you look on TV." And I'd be like,
Is that actually a
bigger on TV?
compliment?
But then
That's
they
hard
go,
to work out.
"You're skinnier."
You don't normally get that with past players.
I just want to back over what you mean by him not looking as good as he
Well, he doesn't
did.
look as good as he did. Back in the
Trained
day,
well.
he used to have a bit going for him.
A bit going. Now I don't. I think Jim's jealous.
What about
I've just got a photo of you getting selfies with fans.
Oh, yeah, because I went over to that group. And
I'll show that photo a little bit later. 10 very nice fans there, Damo. That's from Quinny, actually. We got him on soon.
who?
Derby Day.
Oh, Quinny.
Quinny.
Oh,
from
nice.
Ladbrokes.
Quinny.
Yeah,
I,
Derby
the
Day.
man with the hair.
No other blokes than that.
I came to watch Melbourne and the Gold Coast years ago. It was a famous game, actually, because Byrne did everything he could to try and lose it for the Demons.
Oh, yeah. I gave it back to him late.
Kicking in from fullback, he just picked out Tom Lynch and said, "Here, have a shot at goal to win the game in the last second."
I thought I'd go down the path of kicking to someone small and someone that's not going to mark, so I kicked it to Lynchy. About 40 out.
That's it. He had siren sounded, and all he had to do was kick a goal and Melbourne lost.
Yeah, and just missed.
Yeah, he just missed. That was good. And I'm sitting down here in the second tier with my brother watching because his son was playing, and I forgot because I'm not a beer drinker, that when you have 4 or 5 pots over the course of 4 hours, you're then busting. I mean
forgot that you
busting for just don't drink beer.
Oh, no.
So anyway, I had 4 beers, and they're those big plastic jobs.
Yeah.
And then Mark and Deb go, "Righto, I've just got to quickly," Deb said, "I've just got to quickly go down and see Angus for a second." I said to Sticks, "Mate, we're not going to the room, surely." I'm president of North Melbourne at the time. Anyway, we get all the way down to the back of the rooms, and I'm literally busting. And I said to the security bloke, "Is there another pisser anywhere around?"
You haven't gone in the play.
He goes, "No." And
Wait for it.
I then had to drive to Sandringham. I'm not making it. So I said,
Jim,
I
there's
said-
toilets. You are privileged.
"So, mate, I'm in. So I'm walking past Gary Pert, I'm walking past Goody, and as you both know, the toilets in the MCG rooms are all the way through the players' locker.
Straight through the locker.
You got to walk through the locker to get to the toilet.
showers almost.
Yeah, so I'm walking past Gorney, and they're all looking at me going, "What the fuck are you doing here?" I'm like, "Mate, I'm busting through." I'd gone beyond caring who saw me or what the story was. Club doctor was checking me out.
Yep.